Hi, so today I started the process of making what's called pricky prak. That's what my father called it. And it was a Calabrian dish or side or sauce or paste, whatever you want to call it. And he would always make this with the tomatoes from the tomato harvest and hot peppers and garlic. And I have started the process. There's a few more steps to it. The first part, though, I'm going to show you is the tomatoes that are cut very thin, the peppers that are cut very thin. They're hot peppers, they're very hot. I've had them in the dehydrator. You can see kind of their consistency along with the garlic that's been in the dehydrator. So I'm just going to carefully take all of those out at the moment of the dehydrator. My next step is going to be pretty much, I'm going to kind of hand blend these, like mush them to create the paste. I will then put it back into the dehydrator on parchment paper to dry as a paste. So I'll show you those next steps. So at this point, I have the paste. This is sort of the mashed up paste. And from here, I'm going to show you sort of what we do. I have the parchment paper that I've put on the dehydrator. I will say that when my father did this, he did not have a dehydrator. He did his on pan, just a sheet pan. I guess I'm fancy. I have myself a nice little dehydrator, so I'm just gonna kind of spread this on here. You'll see I'm just sort of taking it. Hope I made that hole a little better there, but that's okay. I'm just sort of spreading it across. Go. No, make it easier. Just sort of spreading it across. Doesn't have to be perfect. Um, this is just sort of the next level, next step here. You can see it doesn't make a ton. This amount here was 10 Roma tomatoes, 3 hot peppers, and then just a ton of garlic. At this point here, before I start dehydrating again, you just drizzle the olive oil. And I'll spread this around so it's a little bit more equal. And then he would just sort of incorporate the olive oil in, dehydrate some more, incorporate the olive oil in, dehydrate some more, and do this maybe 2 or 3 times. So I will show you what happens at the end after those times. So we're on the last step. This has gone through a couple times with the olive oil and the tomato, and now I'm just gonna, you can see how like crumbly it is. You can kind of see it just falls apart, which is completely fine. I'm just gonna take it, put it in my container. And when you put a little bit in, and then we add some olive oil. You have to have good olive oil when you do this. You just kind of mush it all in there. The dehydrating just intensifies all of these flavors. And then the olive oil, it'll soak in and in like a day, this will end up more like a paste. So I just kind of put some of that in, finish putting this. And once I have it all in, I'll have my paste, and then you can use this for sandwiches, sauces, soups, whatever you want. So enjoy. My dad called it pricky prak, but I believe that the rest of the public calls it Calabrian chili oil.